He's thankful for that. Give me understanding that I may know thy testimonies. You know, it's a tragic thing if anyone is supposed to be a servant of the Lord and really does not understand what God himself has said. We had an example of that this morning in some of the things that we were bringing to the attention of this congregation. And I'm so grateful for those who reminded me in one way or in another in the narthex that I haven't been teaching enough on dispensational truth to make it clear enough so that more people will understand. And that I've taken this to heart, and I appreciate the suggestions and the questions, and I want to do the best I can. It's necessary for the Lord's servants to have understanding in God's testimonies, so that he doesn't bring in man's ideas, but he settles only for God's. And in verse 144, the righteousness of thy testimonies is everlasting. Give me understanding, and I shall live. And in 169, let my cry come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word. And many of you are familiar with the assurance, the confidence that he has in verses 98 and 99. Thou, through thy commandments, hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. And I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. And in the verse 100, I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. Is God's word enough? Now here was a man who didn't have very much of the Bible. He certainly had none of the books of the New Testament that you and I have. He did not have Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Daniel and Hosea and Joel and Obadiah, none of those. He didn't have those prophets to read from. He had the law that God had given to Moses on Mount Sinai. And yet he found in that so much that he just marveled at how much more there must be that he would need to understand if he's going to fulfill his position as God's servant in Israel. Now with that as a background, and recognizing that this man had a heart burden wanting to understand not just the letter of the law or the actual words that they mean thus and so, all that's fine and good, but you could tell there's a hunger and a cry, I really want to know, because he had tremendous problems. He spoke of his enemies. He spoke of those who hate me. He spoke of the problems that men raise, as when they say, where is thy God, and so forth. His prayer in 133, verse 133, is one that I would like to leave with you as a prayer request. Order my steps. Order my steps. This is in verse 133. In thy word. Now he could have said, order my steps by thy word. I want to walk according to thy word. But what does he say? I want to make progress. I want to walk in thy word. In it. Not only be guided by it. I want to make progress in it. Do you see it? And let not iniquity have dominion over me. Order my steps in thy word. If you don't do it, Lord, I'm going to zigzag. Human nature being what it is, I'm going to zigzag. I'll go to the left, I'll go to the right. But you order my steps, Lord, and I'll be right. This is my prayer, and I want you to join with me in my prayer. As we face many of the problems of our time, we cannot be satisfied with cliches. We had better have God's Word. What I'm going to give now is something that will require thinking. One of the most difficult things you could ask anybody. Honestly, we're lazy by nature. We'd like to have a button press and have the computer pop up an answer. And if it happened, we wouldn't even understand how he got to his conclusion. We need to think. Number one, what is the population of the world at the present time?